Hi, my name is Rachel Frick, and I'm a garden teacher at the Edible Schoolyard Berkeley. This short video will provide an overview of Compost Row in the Edible Schoolyard Garden. The 1-acre garden at the Edible Schoolyard was originally a parking lot. This meant starting from scratch with the soil underneath. In order to bring the garden back to life, composting has been a vital part of creating our garden fertility. Over the years, we have found that compost is important not only for growing food organically, but also for providing an incredibly rich academic study environment. Many subjects, and especially science, come alive when they are taught in the garden. There are many different ways to compost. After many seasons of experimenting with different methods, we settled on an open-air 4-pile system. I'll get into the reasons why in a minute, but first, the composting process begins with a scrap box where the Edible Schoolyard staff and students place garden green waste. This consists of dried leaves and straw, fruit and vegetable scraps from the kitchen, and used paper napkins. On a regular basis, we remove matter from the storage bin and put it in a pile. This is the beginning of an assembly line that will end up with the 4 sequential piles of compost row. So after 2 weeks, the first pile becomes the second, and a new pile is formed. Every 2 weeks, each pile moves down the line. The 4th pile is our finished compost, and it has taken 8 weeks in all. Students sift the final pile to remove rocks and large twigs before applying it to cultivated beds. If compost is not needed right away, students place the finished compost in another bin set aside for later use. It allows for multiple students to easily and effectively turn the piles, and offers easy access to all sides of the piles to collect data and conduct labs. It provides a sensory learning experience. Students can see evidence of microbial activity when they observe worms and critters at work, watch the steam rise off the piles in the cool morning hours, and feel heat given off while turning the piles. Over time, they observe each pile decrease in size as it decomposes. There are fewer issues with rodents, which is a common problem with many compost systems. We have found that by turning the piles every 2 weeks, rats and mice don't have time to set up their nests. It is the least expensive and most efficient system of composting that we have found. We recommend that each pile be a minimum of 3 square feet to ensure that it heats up to between 120 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit, the optimal temperature for decomposing. We use a piece of burlap to cover each pile and assist the decomposition process. Any heavy cloth material can be used to accomplish this. Your pile needs a proper ratio of carbon-rich materials, or browns, and nitrogen-rich materials, or greens. Ideally, you should maintain a balance of 30:1 carbon to nitrogen. You should be able to source these materials directly from your own garden. Composting is integral to the Edible Schoolyard teaching model because it naturally reinforces the connection between garden and kitchen while also giving students the opportunity to practice essential life and learning skills such as collaboration, inquiry, and observation. For all these reasons and more, composting has natural ties with academic curriculum. In addition to maintaining and managing the compost piles, all students in the Edible Schoolyard Berkeley program participate in a compost lab and study the chemical changes in the compost. Thanks for watching this short video on Compost Row at the Edible Schoolyard. You can find more on composting and other lessons and resources online at edibleschoolyard.org.